Woo! We got something pretty gross for you guys today. Yeah, this could be a problem. Alright, so in fairness, this sugar shack was only supposed to last a year, and it's going on its 4th year now. Yeah, it's had a couple upgrades, one of which is this door, which is definitely on its last leg, or last hinge in this case. Okay. Those of you who do maple syrup are going to be a little horrified by this, but I am very sorry. Okay, so here is our maple syrup stuff, which, as you can see, has not been cleaned. Actually, in my defense, I actually did go through and clean it once, right before hay season started, and we got into the swing of stuff, and then the weather was just really, really cold and really rainy, and you can't really wash it when it's cold and rainy. So I had to wait for things to heat up. So, once again, I'm stuck in the fall cleaning this. And I really had planned to get this cleaned up before then. So what I had actually done, not that you can tell, I had filled it full of probably 10 gallons of vinegar and a little bit of water. And this puppy was sparkling clean. But here's the problem with this style of evaporators. You can't drain it out. While there is a drain plug for the syrup pans, it does not drain out. The flue pans, and those are 9 inches deep. That's a lot of water or liquid, or in this case vinegar, that it can hold. So the only way to get that liquid out is to suck it out with a pump. So today, we're going to see if we can get this cleaned up. Step 1, we're going to have to add some more liquid in here. Because see all this stuff? Yeah, this is not going to want to come off. That is really disappointing. I really worked hard to get this clean, and now it's not clean again. So, fill it full of liquid. Then we're going to light this thing up, boil the death out of it, and let it cool down again. And then we should be able to go through and suck everything off so that it's empty. And then hopefully move it out. I think I did have a hopefully in there. Oh, wow. I still have 1 vinegar jug left. That is awesome. Yeah. At least 10 to 15 gallons to fill this thing up, just so you know. Alright, so we got the next load in. Let me show you. So this is about how much we have in there. It's about 1/2 of an inch roughly, which should be fine. We're not going to boil it for very long, just a little bit. You can see even the float box has liquid in it now. So we're going to clean all this out. Let me go find some firewood quick. Oh yeah. Alright, then we have our Tractor Supply catalog, which works great for fire starter. You know, we really have no shortage of tiny little chunks of wood randomly scattered throughout the driveway. So, we'll put them to use in the fire. Alright. Fingers crossed. For those of you who are not, skilled in the fire making department, if your wood is decently dry and you don't have any kindling, a good source is actually bark, especially if it's feathering off like this. See how it's just kind of feathery? This is the perfect fire starter for fire. Just rip it off, make a little nest, and stuff it in your wood. Yeah, that's a water jacketed bottler, so it's full of water. Gotta drain that out too. Alright, so let's see if we can get something going in here. Oh, look it, we do have fire. Yay, guys. First try. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding. There. That's better. Well, in case you can't tell, yeah, it cooked off too much water and burned to the bottom. So now I'm back in the same boat as when I started a couple hours ago. Just can't win. So, yeah, tomorrow's gonna be thunderstorms all day. Now I have to refill this with water and relight another fire in hope that I can catch it. I'm gonna go cry now. Fortunately, the liquid in here is still hot, so that even after adding another 5 gallons of water into it, it's still hot enough to work some of this stuff off in here. So I'm just using a wooden yardstick. This is actually our measuring stick for measuring the depth of the fluid in here. It's coming off pretty decently. The stuff is a little more stubborn, but because the water, or vinegar water, is nice and hot, it's coming off pretty decently. Now, if this wasn't still hot, and I mean like, it feels like bath water, a little bit hot, maybe more like a hot tub hot, like 104 degrees, 106-ish. But it's coming off pretty good. So I'm just gonna get as much as I can. I'll wait for it to cool down again. Alright, so we have the whole thing scrubbed out. Not that you can really tell, it looks like it's resedimenting, sedifying, something. Yeah, those chunky things I probably are gonna want to scoop out real quick here. Except I don't have a strainer. I don't think I have a strainer. So let's see, I'm gonna have to figure this out somehow. Hey Tut, what you doing? Okay. Alright, so we have a grill spatula, which is nice and handy. You want to be careful not to scrape the bottom too much, just because it will scratch up your cooker. But we're just scooping out all the giant chunky bugs. See? Bug soup. Actually, the smell in here is getting a little nicer. It's kind of smelling a little bit like maybe apple wine or something to that degree. Maybe hard cider. I'm guessing that's the vinegar combined with the fermented maple. Yeah, it's a little gross. Yeah, once you strain out all the bugs from your maple syrup, you end up with something beautiful. I'm totally kidding. No, it does not ever get bugs on it like this while we're cooking. Don't worry. End of season, the little scraps in the pan that get flushed out. Yeah. So, stuff this down in a flue. And all the way down to the bottom. Tip it slightly to the side so it can not get stuck on the bottom. And turn this puppy on. Let's go. And then I'll go down the line and each one, suck them out individually, and then I'll vacuum it, so to speak, out of this one and this one. But first, I gotta go dump that back there. I must be totally blind because my strainer is sitting right there. And if you're using a pump, of course, you always want to make sure to rinse it out. So we're going to take it over to the faucet over here and have it suck some straight tap water through it just to make sure everything's good and clean. Alright, so before I can pull this completely off, I need to take off this valve and this one. And to take this one off, I have to detach it from this hose line right here. Alright, let's see if we can lift this puppy out. Should be entertaining.
Oh boy!
Alright. Alright, you guys ready to see the disaster that is the arch? Now, after I talked about this during maple syrup season, a couple of you guys made the comment that every couple of years, even professional grade furnaces have to go through and re-brick them because they just, well, they turn into this. So, this is actually caving in because the metal is caving in. Can you see how it's collapsing inward? This all should have been made with angle iron and framed with angle iron. So the fire brick is still good, I believe. It was all cemented in, but it's going to have to be re-cemented in, and this is going to have to be fixed as well. If there will be a maple syrup season 2020. So what does this mean? It means this might be your last chance to buy maple syrup made by Farm Girl for a little while. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, this is why I'm wearing black when I do this. Came out pretty good. So now we're gonna go through and blast it.